First things first, I always wash my hair before straightening my hair. The main reason is to get out all the oil and products that are on my hair, because leaving oil on your hair before straightening or while straightening causes a lot of heat damage. You're essentially frying your hair. Not only that, but having any sort of product on your hair does not allow your hair to be straightened like silky press type of straighten, at least for me. It's also very important to have your hair extremely wet. Mine wasn't, that's why you can see me struggling with parting my hair. But yeah, I always section it into different parts so that it's a lot easier for me to work with, because my hair is quite, well, it's not the fullest, but it's full for me. It's not the easiest to handle, and I'm just stretching out my hair here so that it's easier to blow dry. I recommend having something that you're watching or listening to while you're doing this thing, because straightening your hair with the aim of trying to get it to silk press level is a process. You have to be really, really patient, and the only way that I can sit that long doing my hair is when I have something that I'm watching. So that's what I do. I'm sectioning it and then braiding it into different parts. Products that I use to wash my hair were these two products. I think Chisom is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well, but I think Chisom is such a wonderful product to use. It's not the cheapest, but it's a very good product. Typically I would go for Heads and Shoulders, obviously because it's more affordable, and whenever I use that one, I go for the anti-dandruff treatment for the shampoo, and then for conditioner I go with this olive oil conditioner. It makes my hair very silky and very smooth. I like to use this particular comb when I'm detangling my hair. You could also go for this other one, but I prefer to use this one because the space is wider. When it comes to the actual detangling process, I always start from the tip and then I go to the roots. It helps prevent breakage when you do it that way because you're taking it slowly. I'm doing it a lot faster than I'm supposed to be doing, mainly because I was honestly already so tired. I was tired, but if you're doing it, you have to take it slowly, just so that you don't cause a lot of breakage in your hair. I'm using the Revlon blow dryer. If you have a regular blow dryer, that's fine. You can just use it with a comb so that it stretches out. But the reason why I don't go for it is because it takes a lot of time as opposed to this one. But also, the other one dries a lot faster than this one does. So that is probably more efficient if you're looking at time. But if you're looking at which would be easier to use, this one is probably best to use. It's important to stretch your hair as much as possible when you're blow drying it. This makes the whole straightening process easier, and also you could get a better result when you're straightening if your hair is already as straight as it could be. So something that I like to do is I like to stretch it out with my hand while still stretching it out with the brush. I definitely did not stretch it out as much as I could. Guys, my hand was killing me, but it's important to stretch it out as much as you can if you have the time to do that. If you're looking for that very silky, very straight result, that's the best thing that you could do for yourself. I personally was not going for that very straight, very silky result. I wanted it to have like just a little bit of poof. You can definitely see me struggling with my hair at this point. My least favorite part to do in my whole head is the middle of my head. I always don't get that right. Like, you can even see like I did not stretch it out so well like that. My advice to you is cut it in smaller sections. I was doing at least 4 parts in each side of my head. In order to get it dry, I would suggest, especially if you're using a brush where the heat is not as much as a regular blow dryer, just stay on that part of your head. Just leave the brush on it so that the heat can really get to that side. It's better to have your hair extremely dry when you're straightening than wet. I once straightened my hair when it wasn't completely dry. I got a lot of heat damage. It's almost like the image that I have in my head is when you have a pan that is sizzling on fire. You can imagine the amount of heat damage that's going to cause. Speaking of, I did not put heat protectant in my hair. I remembered this too late when I was about to straighten my hair, but I will show you guys the heat protectant that I used when I was about to straighten it. But definitely put your heat protectant before you blow dry your hair. I think I might be wrong, but I think you're supposed to put it before you blow dry your hair. At this point, I was done with blow drying. I did not blow dry my hair really well in terms of making it stretched out as possible, but I think it was okay. I think enough for me to get the result that I got anyways. This is the heat protectant. Can you tell that I'm in love with Chisom products? Also, this is the next day. You guys know NEPA. I could not straighten my hair, but I did blow dry my hair all over again. That's why it's looking a bit better than yesterday, but honestly, you might not tell the difference because my hair shrinks very easily. So even just the humidity of where I was stung my hair again. Whenever you're putting your heat protectant, do not put too much because it can make your hair stiff. Now, when it comes to the actual straightening process, always make sure your hair is flat on the iron. If you want your hair to really look silky from top to bottom, you have to get close to your scalp. That's what you see me doing. My straightener has this like rounded curve that's really just meant for giving your hair curls, but I was using that as an advantage. Do not straighten your hair this way. Make sure the hair is flat. If you can see, it's not the straightest. It's straight, but like it's not silky straight. It's not falling easily. It's not, you can see me just testing it out. So what I do is I put my hand this way just so that the hair can be flat and not bundled up together. That way is also not comfortable for you. You can also try to just really be careful about how you're positioning the hair on your straightener. You want each strand to get a taste of that heat so that it can be straight. The back is always probably the most painful because of how your hand is, but you have to do it. And you also have to go over and over and over until it is straight. This is why I said this is not something that you just do quickly and then you're done. It takes time. You can see me going over that particular strand over and over and over and over again to the point that my hair cannot stand on its own. When you're cutting a line, you also have to go with small parts, because if you carry a bunch, not every strand is going to get that heat. You need each strand to be straightened if you want that silk press straight. So you have to cut each line as small as possible, not extremely tiny, because then it will just glide over your straightener. This is the straightener that I'm using. I don't know the brand, but this is what it looks like. It has this curved part by the edge where you can like make your curls, and then it has the temperatures. You can see by the curve part. At this point, my sister was trying to show me how to do the curls because I wasn't getting the particular curls that I wanted. I was just trying to test it out at the back. You're going to do the curls at the end of straightening your hair, where you carry a bunch and like curl it out, but I was just testing it out and she was showing me how I was going to do it. I want to make it like a bit curly, you know, like a wolf cut.
Yeah.
Does it look nice?
I don't know if that's the type of curl you wanted.
I don't think so. Anyways, this is how straight your hair is meant to look. I don't know if you can see how straight it looks. Not the silkiest, like the result you would get. Also, I would recommend staying in a place with AC because the humidity, oh my god, can you see the back of my hair already? I was so pissed, and I think you can see it in my face because this video was taking like 2 days now with NEPA and then the humidity. This is how it turned out with the heat and all of that. I think it was still kind of straight, but it was giving just relaxed hair and not like silky straight any longer, but that's fine. Remember I said I did not want it to be like extremely straight. I was going for a 90s blowout, not necessarily the type that you would see in those 90s shows, but I don't know, I'll put a picture to kind of show you what I was going for on the screen. It's also important to use a red tail comb when you're straightening your hair. The process of doing that helps with stretching out your hair even more. When you're curling your hair, you could go outwards, right, and it will give you this look, which is kind of, I think, like a bob cut, but I was going for something more inwards, like this one. This is how I curled it, and I just went in sections at the back. I took sections and I would curl it that way, and this was the result that we got. I think it turned out so pretty and not exactly what I wanted, but very similar to it. So this is how I was able to curl the back. I would just take a section and then I would curl it this way. I didn't do too much in trying to make the back look so perfect because I was just doing this hair for this video, but this is how it turned out. I was trying to style it here and I ended up just ruining the hair because the side parts looked absolutely horrible and I did not get the curl back. So I'm just combing out my hair and then I'm going to wrap it in a scarf because that's how to maintain a silk press or a straightened hair. Put your hair in a low bun, put it in a scarf. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any other questions, you can let me know in the comment section. But for now, bye. I'll see you guys next week Friday. Oh wait, but don't forget to like, share and subscribe before you go. Okay, now bye bye.